Well, hi, my friends. This is Jay, and this is Jay's Knit and Purl Jam. And no, it's not Friday night. Well, I started, of course, trying to work on my, what I was going to bring you for Friday night surprise. But it just takes so long to go through a lot of the videos and check the music and do that. So I've got something coming. So I'll keep my word, but I'm just going to have to roll on. We're going to roll on a little bit. Because my next tutorial coming up, not tonight, but the next tutorial is a knit tutorial. And I'm doing a beautiful, I'm not going to tell you a whole lot about it, it's a surprise, but a lace sweater. A little lace, kind of an end of the summer sweater. So I'm working on that. So in the meantime, I thought, well, what can I bring? What can we talk about? And, first of all, I've done everything I could. I've shut the window. I'm sitting here sweating, trying to keep out that noise. It's late at night, and they're still going. Do they ever be quiet? The window is down. The blinds are down. Anyway, so what I want to talk about tonight is I was looking through my stash, looking at yarns, getting some ideas, I like to put yarns and patterns together. I see a good stitch, and then I'll think, oh, this yarn would be perfect. And then I'll see a yarn, and maybe I'll look a day or two for a stitch I think will work. So I wanted to just share some behind the scenes again. So this is some behind the scenes information or ideas I hope that will help you. I'm calling this video Jay's Finish It or Forget It. Because while I was looking through my yarn stash, I came across, I have several big bags of unfinished projects. Yes, I know you're saying, well, Jay, with the way you knit fast, I just figured you finished everything. No, I'm one of those people, I like to cast on. I will have 5 or 6 things cast on at one time, or crocheted, or chained up, or whatever. I'm not one to just stick with one thing. As soon as I get an idea, I cast it on, or either I make a chain and start kind of working the pattern out. And then, of course, I take I make a working copy of whatever stitch I'm using. I try to. Sometimes I do forget in my haste. And then I just stick it in a bag. And I never get confused when I get ready to pull that bag that had a certain project in it, as long as I had the stitch and a place, where I've written down, where I stopped and where I need to start. I'm good to go. So let me take you real quick and see what I can share with you. And just like I said, just nothing I can do about nature. Such is life. Oh, I did hear a rumble of thunder, and then I did hear some more fireworks. So such is life. All right. First of all, this is one that I did finish. You remember when I did that little love jacket in that beautiful fuchsia-like color? Well, the original jacket was going to be this color. This was the beginning of the jacket. We started at the top, and then like the sleeves, long sleeves or whatever, and then we worked down the front of the body. Then we made a back section, Well, this was simply going to be the top of that jacket. This would be like, the sleeve, and then the center back, and then the opposite sleeve. Well, then I didn't think I'd had enough yarn. This was some old yarn I had. I pulled out of my stash. I'm sure this is Karen Simply Soft, and I believe it's chartreuse green. It's just a real pretty green. And so I had done the work, and I hate to just take it all out. Really, all I had to do was just stop it. It's just crochet. You don't have to really do anything special. So I stopped it and made some fringe on each end, and voila, I have this beautiful love knot, excuse me, love knot grid scarf instead of the jacket out of this color. And why would I cough now? So I thought, well, this will make a lovely gift for someone, somewhere, sometime. And by it being this color, I think it would make a beautiful Christmas gift. Can't you see this all wrapped up with a big, pretty red bow tied around it, and then maybe something else, either a headband or a hat, something, and a big old red bow right there like that. What do you think? So that's one that I can go ahead and put up in a bag, in a good bag. So this one I don't have to decide whether to finish it or forget it. It's finished, and it's gonna make a nice gift. Okay, now the next one, as I said, I was looking through this bag. The next one, I do need your help, and I'm gonna walk you through, first of all, the project here. This was one of those little quickie shawls. We've used this stitch before. It's kind of like the offset shells. You know, they're just kind of offset from each other. I don't know why I was making this or what I had in mind, but I can tell it was a little shawl because I've worked it long ways. See, remember? Long ways. And then why I stopped, I don't know. Why I didn't finish it. Because I have plenty of this yarn. I believe this is Hobby Lobby's Soft Secret. So I just pulled it out and I said, okay, this is what gave me the idea of this video. Should I, Jays, finish it or just forget it? So I'm gonna tell you what I think I can do with this. Then I'm gonna let you vote. I'm going to sign it a letter. This will be Project A. I just made these little, that's all I can do at the last minute. So this will be Project A. Now this is what I think I will do to see if I can, and then I'll let you decide. No, Jay, just forget that. It seems like I only need a few more rows to make it wide enough. I may want it wider, but I have plenty of yarn. And you can see, I know I can read the stitch. It's very simple. It's just, like I said, the offset shell. And separated by V-stitches. We did something, but I can't remember what the project was. So, I think I will finish this, and then you know what I'm thinking. Of course, this little pretty scallop edge will become the top or at the neck. And if we this is the way you'd wear it, like this. You pull it down, kind of put it right there. Here's the two fronts with a pretty little edge pointing in. Does that make sense? See, here it is. Here it is over here. Now, I think, I'm just putting them here all in the way. I think that I will add fringe to each one of these short edges. Just fringe along here, and on the opposite side add some fringe, but also go around the whole bottom of this shawl. So fringe, then here's the bottom. This is the edge where I made the chain. Fringe, fringe all the way across, fringe all the way. Oh, this will be pretty, I'm telling you. Fringe, long fringe all the way across to this second short edge, and then fringe all the way up this side until we get back to the top. Of course, the top, I don't want fringe because it has a lace that's going to go around your neck. This is at the neck. So, just adding a little more and adding something as simple as fringe, I think this could really, it could be something that you could do easily and that you will just get a lot of wear out of it. And of course, I could put a beautiful, beautiful accent button right there in the front. So what do you think? So, now don't vote right away because I got several things more to show you. But this is Project A. This is a shawl, and I'd like to know your thoughts on how I'm thinking of finishing, just like I shared with you. Should I finish it, or should I just forget it? Should I just forget it? I'm being dramatic. So that's Project A. All right, let me go, and I'm going to show you the next couple of projects. Back in just a minute. All right, so now I want to show you this project. This project, I started with leftover yarn. This is some of the Limes brand Heartland yarn. This is the one that I made the walkabout, the double lace shawl. Remember, it was, let's see if I have a date about when I made this. I don't know what month, but I can look it up. But it was a lace walkabout shawl. It was really pretty. And it had the lace on both edges. That was so pretty. And had a lace in the back. Well, for some reason, when I was through with that, I had so much yarn left, but not enough to really do another, big project. I thought, well, I'll go ahead. I don't know. I love the stitch so much. I just wanted to keep doing it. I thought about making this scarf. And let's see if you can see it. Yeah, that looks pretty. I wanted to make this scarf. And I just cast on enough stitches just to do there's lace on one edge, remember? And then we have the lace on the opposite edge. So we're knitting the front and back of each row. We knit one direction for this side, and then we knit the opposite direction for the other side. So if you're not familiar with that one, I'll have to put that one in the link. I'll link it. But it is a beautiful lace shawl. And then on the shawl, there is even a center lace. You can do it with just the two edge laces, the two laces on each edge, all by themselves, or you can add the center lace. So there's 3 different components of the shawl. But this is just a scarf. Now look how much I've worked on it. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? Now wouldn't that make a nice little project to finish? A nice little gift, or just for yourself. Everything doesn't have to be a gift, people. I like to make things for myself. This would be pretty with a little, in the winter. If you got a nice little jacket or a pretty little coat or a beautiful little suit you're going to wear to church or wear somewhere and you need a pretty little winter accent scarf. Really pretty. You have a pretty pen. Back in the days when we used to wear beautiful pens. I've got a large pen collection. I'll have to bring those out one night and just look at them. Oh, listen, we've got a thunderstorm. I guess it's coming from that storm that's brewing in the Gulf. But this is a project, so I'm going to say this is Project B of Jay's. Finish it or just forget it. But I've got so much done, I probably need at least this length again to make it a nice scarf. And so I've got it on a little stitch holder. See, I'm ready to go. And remember my little tip about using masking tape to help you remember maybe? So I put down what the needle size. I use a number 9. And when I get ready to start, I start on row 1. So it's right there on there with masking tape. And plus, I have my pretty black and white where I worked, I was working the original shawl, where I typed out all the lines, line for line. So I have this, it's ready to go. So what do you think? So on B, you can vote, but I'm thinking this would be good to finish. I could just see this as a beautiful winter scarf, all up, just wrapped around your neck. What do you think? Okay, all right, let's see what else I can show you. Not all of them are scarves, so I do have some larger projects. So let me go through the bag. I've got another bag here, and let's see Project C. Hold on. Okay, so I was looking through, I really looked through some old bags just to pull up something. And here is a black and white I made from a magazine. I hardly ever use things like patterns. But apparently I like this sweater, or I thought I was going to make this sweater. But then it didn't. Of course, now this was back in the day when Jay was a much smaller size. And I had an idea of making this sweater. But eventually I just dropped the whole thing. I just remember putting this in a bag. I remember telling myself I'll come back to it later. Now, as you can see, you can tell it was from a magazine. Now, let me tell you about the year. Okay, this magazine this was Creative Knitting, and it was in 2009. Yes, boy, this is a long time ago. I have all of my little black and white where I printed out and tried to figure out my, working from my formula. See, even back then, I worked from my formula. I did all the math, just like I've walked you through. It's all, and I'm sorry, there's a terrible glare. But anyway, you can see just kind of the scrappy writing on the paper. All right, like I said, this size wouldn't fit me now anyway. But anyway, that's where I got the idea. Well, I started on it, and look how much I got done back in 2009. Here's some Karen Simply Soft again. And I got this much done. Apparently I was going to do it in one piece, because you can see it. It's on my number 9 needles, and it's long. So apparently I was going to do a front, a right front, then the center back, and then you'd have your left front, bottom up. And then somewhere along the line I lost interest, or I didn't think this would look good on my body at the time. And it's just a very common stitch. I can find the stitch in our stitch book. So it was very simple, but I lost interest. And then I do remember sometime later when I found it again, another time I found this exact sweater, I decided, well, I'll turn it into a shawl. So then, so I wouldn't lose all the lace. See all that pretty lace? So I started knitting. So you can see that I started knitting. I just did a row of stockinette, or garter stitch right there, a garter ridge. And then I thought, well, I'll just knit and turn this into maybe a shawl of some type. And maybe I knitted about 6 rows, and then I lost interest again. Remember, this is 2009. So what would I do? Let me just get an idea, and then you can vote. This will be Project C, whether I should finish it or just forget it, Jay. Just forget it. Oh, listen to that thunder. I may have to forget this video. I think we're good. Man, do y'all hear that? Listen. But I don't think there's any rain. It's just doing the thunder thing. So what could I do to bring this to light, to give it life? Well, I can continue to knit up and make it into like a beautiful shoulder wrap that would come around like this. I'm just trying to get it to fit here. So it's kind of hard to kind of see it. It's on the needle. What do you think if it became a nice little shoulder something? But now I would have this. This would be very, this would be, the whole thing would be really wide. It would be a nice wide shoulder wrap or shoulder shawl, or I'd call it a wrap more than a shawl, because it just comes around the neck. And then I would probably, we could do something to make so that it folds back, so that there's some kind of front edge, so that it actually folds back to make like a collar. Okay, see, we're thinking outside of the box. We're designing. So if I continued the stockinette, which is knit on the front, purl on the back, just that, you can see it, regular stockinette, for maybe, I've got quite a bit of yarn, so it's no problem, maybe 10 more inches or something like that, or 8 inches. Then I could decide on some way to put a collar, change the stitch so that the collar folds back all the way around and comes down the front. Can you see it? So that I would just hate to lose all this pretty lace. So this could be really wide stockinette, and then when I get to a certain point, change the stitch or do something to make a fold back collar so that it folds back on that part of this work. What do you think of that? This is project number C. This is looking back to 2009. So see, don't feel bad if you can't get everything finished. Of course, you know, I try to make my things simple enough, hopefully, that you can finish. But as you can see, even I have mine. You know, I have to stay on myself to finish. But like I said, I have several. I may have had 6 or 7 projects and just went to another project. So it wasn't like I was idle. No, I probably just put this back in the bag and say, okay, I'll come back to it when I decide. Or if I can see something. You know, I try to see it in my mind how I think it would look. But it is a pretty lace, and I would hate to lose all that lace. So, a simple wrap. I'm trying to think of anything else. I don't think I'm interested in, like I say, I don't think it would fit me now, from 2009, to continue as a sweater. Let's see, anything else? Or, like I say, you may have a suggestion. So, here's Project C. Should I finish it, or should I just forget it? This is a good one for you to put your brain to. See if you can see maybe what I'm trying to see. Or tell me if you can think of something else. All right, that's C. Let's see what we have in the next bag. Okay, so the rain finally came in, but it's just gently raining. So we're almost to the end anyway. So here is my project that I had great hopes for this. What happened, I can't remember, or I don't understand what happened. So let me walk you through it. All right, this will be Project D. This is a crocheted piece, and it is Project D. And let me show you how pretty it is. All right, here is the back of this design. Well, first of all, it came out of that crochet book, you know, the one we use all the time, the Crochet Stitch Design by Linda Scaper. And it was stitch number 205. And I've got all my writing here, markings. I've got it in my protector, but anyway, so that's the stitch. This was the back. I was going to do it, I guess, in 2 pieces or come over. You know how I go up the back. Well, it started like this. You know, when I start at the long end, and then I work this direction, and then I stop it for the sleeves. Can you see that? Let's see if I'm on camera. Let's see which way. Yeah, you can. Let's see which way is better. Okay, I can see that side better. Let's move it this way. So then I worked it down. You know, this part I worked from this is where I did the chain on this end, and I worked down so far to this is my sleeve, and then you stop the sleeve and then come into your work so that you can start the body going down this direction. If you've crocheted with me, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Then you know that I turn my crochet around. Now the bottom becomes the top, and then I simply go over the shoulder and match a piece just like this on the other side, but leave a space for your neck. Does that make sense? Well, I know you're going to say, Jay, that's beautiful. That's what I thought too. Look at that. I don't know how I got sidetracked. Now this is some of that Premier Everyday Baby yarn, or you can use a nice number 3 yarn. You know, 3 weight if you've got some hand-dyed number 3 or something like that. This would be a perfect project. Really nice. You probably need a solid color for all, otherwise you're not going to be able to see all this beautiful detail. So I would definitely use a solid color, of course. Alright, but Jay can't wear this size. So I don't want to, I'd rather keep this piece intact. I'm not going to take it loose. And, you know, should I finish it or should I just forget it? This one may be worth finishing, but in a different yarn, and of course I have to make it to fit me now. But I will have a prototype. Do you understand what I'm saying? I will have something to go by and to help me get a good fit. Isn't that pretty? What do you think of that? Look at that. Oh, I don't know why I stopped. Oh, I'm sorry, hit the camera. I have no idea why I stopped. Now I am mad at myself. I give myself 2 thumbs down for not finishing this pretty top. But since I have this piece to go by, I think I'm going to put it, and hope you will too, into Jay, you need to finish it. Of course, now you know this will have to be a spring project for next year. Can't be anything. We're getting ready to go into our fall. So I'd have this beautiful top, say, right as spring comes in. And that will give me a chance to do it in a, in a size or, yarn that's going to fit me now. But this is Project D. Project D. Jay's, finish it or forget it. And there's that lace. I don't see how in the world we can forget that. All right, I'm coming up to the last one. So I'm going to put all this back in the bag. See, the main thing is to put everything back into your bag. And I use clear plastic bags. I don't use other bags or cloth bags. I have to see. Otherwise, out of sight, out of mind. I would never even know that I had this. I just, only because I was able to see it. If I can't see it, then I move on to other things. But all the information is there, the stitch and everything, so I don't have to look for anything. And I do now, like I said, I don't have much of this yarn anyway, so I really couldn't finish it. But I have something to look at so that I can do it next year in my size, my new size. Okay, last but not least, I saved the ugly thing for last. You know how you always have those ugly sweaters? Well, this is Jay's ugly sweater. I don't know where I was going with this. But I'm going to, let me see now, this will be Project, let me see, D-E. This will be Project E. Okay, here is, it starts in the very back. You know how I do my sweaters. This was going to be a sweater. And I was going to, let me see if I'm backed out. Can you see the bottom? Yeah, you can see the pretty little, look at that. I did like a variegated yarn that had a little of the green in it. It was pink. It's been in a bag, so it's kind of wrinkled. But I did the 1x1 ribbing at the bottom. And then I'm going to pull it down. All right, let's see if I can do what I hit. And you can see I had already separated and left the neck space open so that I could come back, and I guess I was going to pick up a collar or something. But let me show you why it's the ugly sweater. Why I give it the name the ugly sweater. I've lost one of my little point protectors, but I got more. I have more. All right, so let me turn it around now. Here is the front of this sweater. So it was going to be a sweater. Let me put the E there so you know. Okay. What was I thinking? What, Jay? The sweater looks like it's got the chicken pox or something. Or it's like, what in the world? I have no idea where I was going with this. I just had this yarn, and I think this is just some old Hobby Lobby yarn. It was a variegated, and it was really pretty, and I like green. Green is one of my favorite colors. And so I started working, trying to make this sweater, where I come up the back, and I bind off some for the neck, and then I come down the front. I decide, I come down the front, and then I think on this one, I was going to have to pick up, a ribbing, like do the 1x1 ribbing, but, pick it up along the edge and go all the way around and then come down. I believe that was what I had in mind. But I don't know I don't know what trip I was on when I put these big ugly baubles. I'm going to put it just a little bit, just so you can see the detail a little bit. Look at that. Look at these big ugly baubles. What was I thinking? Look, let me bring it close to you so you can see the whole. I know beauty's in the eye of the beholder, but my gosh. I think I was a little, I don't know. So, this would be a definite one. Once I found it, I says, this is definitely one I need to decide whether to finish it or just forget it. Now, let me tell you, just for those who say, Jay, just forget it. But now this is what I thought, because there's a lot of work in here, people. So on this Project E, this is what I'm thinking. All right. I already have the back done, and the back is nice. And it's big enough that it rolls in, so I'm going to have to think of something for that. See, I didn't that because I was going to stitch it up as a sweater, so I would have to think of something. That might change my mind. But anyway, I'm thinking, you know my little tennis sweaters. You know where I have the back of the sweater, and then this front part becomes it's like a sleeve, but they become long ties. You know, I just finished one in crochet called Cross My Heart. Well, you know, I have a knitted version too, where I put a lot of lace and everything in it. And in fact, I had one over here, but I think I had to put it up. But I'm thinking about just pulling all of this back. See, on the needle. I'm thinking about just taking the needle out just like this. And start winding the yarn up. Just pull it and pull it out. Just pull it all the way back. Just like that. And make a ball as I go. Till I'm all the way back up to till I'm past these last bobbles. And then, well, no, I need to go all the way back up, because what I think I will do is, this is the shoulder seam. So I made like a little ridge there. There's a shoulder seam. So from that shoulder seam, why don't I go into 1x1 ribbing with this variegated yarn? So this up here becomes 1x1 ribbing like this across and all the way down without the big bobbles, but in this, so that this front tie will look just like the bottom of the sweater. See? Thinking outside of the box. Because I have the back done. And the sides are going to curl, but I can just steam, or I don't know what I could think of to get this to relax some. Because I intended to make a sweater, and then I was going to stitch. This would have been a seam, so I didn't put a border on it. But I could think of something. But what do you think of that? Do you think that might breathe some life into it, so that I don't have... So I just pull both of these back, both of these fronts back, all the way up to the shoulder. Then I would go into a 1x1, pick all the stitches up again, go into a 1x1 ribbing, and work my way down. Just work my way all the way down, all the way to the end, as long as, and I have some more of this yarn, so I don't have to worry about running out. So the front of the sweater will have 2 long 1x1 ties that come all the way down, and just like on the crochet one, you always go at least 4 or 5 inches on one of the ties, so that when you get ready to make the tie, of course I can take this out now, because I'm making a decision. And so, when you get ready to tie it across, and then I could use this as a cute little, or give it as a gift, or someone in school, something like that, where it would look really pretty with a little variegated yarn, a little touch of pink here, and then these beautiful ties. I think once you see what I have to do with this, you're going to be like, Jay, I can't believe that ugly sweater, the ugly duckling, turned into a beautiful swan. That ugly sweater, you saved it. So this is the last project for the night, the ugly sweater. Should I finish it or just forget it? Should I give the idea that I had a try, or do you have anything? But definitely not these big bobbles. I'm pulling that out. This is, I think I did this about two 2 years ago, maybe, I was just bored and just picked up some yarn. You know, I just picked it out my stash, and I just started making a design. And then, like I said, I'm trying to think, where was I going with the baubles? They are huge and they are ugly. So, Project E. You let me know your suggestions, but I think this will be the one that I will work on first, because I want to go ahead and pull these baubles out and then put a 1x1 ribbing like I did. You know, if you just look at that, you can look at some of my other cross your heart type, I call these tennis sweaters. You can see they have a beautiful tie in front. So a 1x1 ribbon will really look pretty in this variegated yarn. Like I said, just like the bottom edge. So, there you have it. Just a little quick. I just wanted to come on quick. I didn't try to make this an all, like a long tutorial or anything. I just felt like talking tonight. And since I couldn't get up the skating video, like I said, it takes longer than I thought to go through all the videos, go through a lot of them, and put videos that I think that's gonna look nice together. And then, of course, find the right music. And I do have I have some good stuff coming. But I also have my next tutorial, just a reminder, it will be a knitted sweater in a pretty end of the summer lace that I believe you're gonna really enjoy this one. So, I can't think of anything else. I'm gonna get busy and pull this part of the sweater out on the yarn and put it in a ball and start working on it. Just kind of off to the side. And eventually, you need to let me know, give me some comments back on A, B, C, D, or E. What do you think? Or any suggestions you have. And I'll read through them and we'll talk about them in the next video perhaps. And maybe the next time I do, after we do the tutorial, a few weeks on down the road, or maybe next month, I'll probably have this one ready to show to see how I tried to save it. I'm going to go ahead and try to save this one. Don't ask me why. I just like the idea of that little sweater, that little cross. I like that little tennis look, that little sweater. It looks real nice. So this is Jay on a rainy night in Georgia. Feels like it's raining all over the world. Oh, I'm telling you, this video is full of bloopers, isn't it? But that's okay. I hope you had a good time. I hope you enjoyed watching. And until next time, like I say, I'll see you. And look for the next tutorial.